A guy on your shift owes you $5. He doesn't have $5, so he hands you a lottery slip instead and says you're square. That slip pays out $290 million. 8 years later, you're pushing a mop across a store floor at 4 in the morning. That same guy, the one who didn't have $5, comes back for it. A man comes in for coffee, looks up at the jackpot board, asks what you'd do if you won. You don't answer him. You already know. This is your life at every level after winning the lottery. You're 35. You fix the machines at a commercial laundry. Rent's due Friday. There's $400 in the account, and you've done that math twice today. You don't want a fortune. You want to stop doing the math. Ruiz owes you $5 from Tuesday and hasn't got it, so he pays you in a lottery slip. You take it. Arguing about $5 in front of people is worse than losing $5. Sunday night, you're eating over the sink with the TV on in the other room. You hear the 4th number and something goes wrong in your chest. You don't yell. You sit down on the kitchen floor and you stay down there a while. $290 million. You put it in a shoebox and sleep on the floor next to it because the bedroom is 11 feet too far away. Monday you call in sick. First time in 9 years. You're worth more than the building you work in, and you can't open your own front door. You need a lawyer and not the one on the bench at the bus stop. $500 an hour. That was a month of groceries 2 weeks ago. Now it doesn't land at all. He talks for an hour and you follow a third of it. The third you follow is the part that matters. Your own name on this goes in the public record, and then everybody knows your street. So the trust claims it instead, and nobody prints your name. For a while. The claims office is smaller than you pictured. The woman scans your slip without changing her face. You take the lump sum. Everybody does. It cuts the number by nearly half, and then the tax gets its turn. You walk out with $94 million and you're furious. Furious about money you never had, that only existed in your own head for 6 days. The money lands. The balance looks like somebody's thumb slipped on the keyboard, and then everybody knows. You told 4 people. Your mother, your sister, her husband, and Danny from the plant. Your sister told 2 people she trusted. Her husband told the entire county. Danny didn't tell anybody. You'll think about that for the rest of your life. The phone doesn't stop. They all open the same way. Congratulations. Then the pause while they wait to see if you'll fill it. Some don't wait. My treatment, my loans, my shop. Some of it's shameless. Some of it's true, and the true ones are worse. You go to your bar. Mike's been pouring your drink for 6 years, and tonight he calls you sir. You leave half a glass on the counter, and you never go back. Nothing about you has changed in 30 days. Nobody believes it. By the end of the month, neither do you. You buy the house. Not a house. The house, the one you scrolled at 2 in the morning when you couldn't afford any of it. Gate, pool, kitchen bigger than the apartment you grew up in. First night, your footsteps come back at you off the walls. You buy 3 cars, one of them for your mother who hasn't driven since 2011. The first month is genuinely good. You take her to the ocean and she cries in the hotel lobby, and you'd pay every cent of it again for that. It feels earned, 15 years of steam and lint, and a back that clicks when you stand up. From the inside, a treat and a habit feel exactly the same. The car's good for 4 days, then it's a car in a driveway, and you want the next one. The balance is too big to watch it fall, so you quit looking at it. Ruiz calls in the 2nd month. He doesn't ask for anything, he just wants to know if it's true. You tell him yes. He says that's my ticket. And he laughs. You laugh too. Neither of you means it the same way. You start giving it away, and for a while it's the best thing you've ever felt. You clear the mortgage on your mother's house. You pay for new machines at the laundry plant, anonymously. And afterwards, you sit in the car in the lot for 20 minutes, feeling like a man again. Ruiz is working the line the day they get installed. He doesn't know it was you. He nods at you across the floor the way you nod at a stranger. Then your name gets on a list, and lists get shared. The letters get harder because they're all true. Everyone is real and you can fix it. So you do until it stops being a good feeling and turns into a debt you can never finish paying. So you hire somebody to run it. Forms a committee that says no on your behalf. Then a letter comes to the house that isn't asking for anything. Law firm at the top. Ruiz's name underneath it. You read it twice and put it in a drawer. You'll deal with it later. Your lawyer walks you into a room of people who manage fortunes for a living. They tell you the thing that should have ended this story. Leave it alone and it throws off $3.5 million a year by itself. Forever. Your sister's husband drives out to the house to ask. He's rehearsed it in the car, you can tell. He says, "I'm not asking you for a gift." You say, "I know." He says, "I'm asking you in as my partner." He isn't. He's asking for $400,000 for a car wash. You both know it and you write it anyway. A month later, you do it again for a shipping venture because being the man who makes things happen feels like something, and just having money feels like nothing at all. The car wash is shut inside 11 months. The shipping venture turns out to have no ships. $2.6 million into deals your advisors would have killed in 5 minutes. You'd confused having money with understanding money. The invoice for that lesson runs to 7 figures, and it comes in installments. 3 years in. Look at who you've actually spoken to this week. Your advisor, your accountant, your assistant, the woman who runs the house. Every one of them is on your payroll. You trust them because the money makes them show up. Somewhere in 3 years that started counting as enough. The old friends didn't leave in one dramatic night. It was quieter than that. Nobody changed. The money changed the distance, and none of you knew how to close it. Your sister stopped calling. Her husband tells people you set him up. Your life used to be full of people. It's full of services now. She rings once more in year 4. You almost don't pick up. She says, "He isn't sleeping." You say, "I gave him $400,000. She says, "I know exactly what you gave him." Then neither of you says anything for a long time, and she's the one who hangs up. Ruiz comes back. The guy who owed you $5. The guy who handed you the slip. He's got a lawyer now who says it was a joint purchase, and 2 men off your old shift remember it that way. You know exactly what happened. A debt, a shrug, a shirt pocket. None of it was ever written down. It runs 2 years. Depositions. Your mother on a witness list. You settle for $6 million because winning costs more than losing. Your own lawyer says that out loud, and you don't forget it. He walks out with $6 million for $5 and a shrug. You can't even hate him properly. So you buy cameras, and a man you've never met starts standing out front 12 hours a day. Then the letters start. Most of them are nothing. One of them describes your car and the time you leave in the morning. You start checking the back seat before you get in. You'll still be doing that years later in a car worth nothing, out of habit. 5 years in. Annual review. Your wealth manager slides a figure across the table and you ask him to say it again. 31 million. You've spent 63 in 5 years. At this burn, you're out of liquid assets in 3. Trouble is, you're spending like a man with 94, and by now those habits are holding up the roof. The main house won't sell. You bought at the top, and the bank is owed more than the place is worth. Then the accountant finds a structure from 2 years back that was built wrong. 7 figures in back tax, penalties, interest on the penalties. You didn't know. You paid people to know. And now they start going. Everybody who was a line item drifts off once the line item gets uncertain. You call the laundry plant and ask if they're taking anybody on. The man who answers is new. He doesn't know your name, and he tells you to fill in the form online like everybody else. You never fill it in. Underneath it, there's nothing. Nobody to phone. No trade anybody's hiring for. You're 41, you haven't worked in 5 years, and you can't make it stop. 8 years since the slip. The money isn't mostly gone. It's gone. You rent a room smaller than the one you left. You work nights at a corner store, the only place that answered your application. Nobody here knows. You've never told them. The house your mother lives in is still clear. Out of all of it, that's what you do again. Your sister still doesn't speak to you. The word that came back through the family was selfish. Danny still picks up, the one who never told anybody. He's the only one left. He's got his house and a pension coming. You were on that road once. $5 knocked you clear of it, and you never got back on. You owe the IRS $340,000 on a plan. You do that math every month. 6 in the morning, a guy comes in before his shift and puts $2 on the counter. He counts it out first. You watch him do it, the same math, twice over. Then he asks for a quick pick, and you're the one who prints it. You could say something, but you'd sound like a man mopping a floor at 43, telling strangers not to hope. So you hand him the ticket and you tell him good luck. He folds it into his shirt pocket and walks out to his car with it. He'll find out. They always do. He's back on Tuesday. He didn't win. Nobody did. He puts $2 down and doesn't bother counting it. This time, you print the ticket. He says, "See you next week." He will. They all come back. And so did you, in the end. You're just standing on the other side of the counter now.